Hey, what's up, everyone? As you see from the title, I am encouraging you to buy cheap knives if you don't already. I know some people only buy cheap knives, and some of you might think that's not that great a thing, but that's either all you really want to spend on a knife or it's all you can spend, and you know what? Nothing wrong with that. I have a lot of cheap knives, and some of you might want to. When I say cheap, I mean like under $10. That's my cheap. And then some of you might buy a lot of like, 30, 40, $50 knives. And some of you might buy fancy schmancy knives that are like $1,000. I don't have any of those. Um, I basically consider anything over $100 expensive. That's just me. Now, you've probably heard the old saying: if you're into prepping or guns or knives or anything like that, two is one is none. That's true. I would also say five is four, four is three, three is two, two is one, and one is none. Because I think it's better to have duplicates whenever you can. Now over here, I got my Spyderco, I have my ProTack, and I have another ProTack here. These are great knives, but they have a big, huge problem with them, and that's that they all cross that $100 line. I'm not leaving a $100 knife in my car. I'm not going to buy $100 knife and keep it in my car backpack that I would take with me. Kind of like I guess some people would call it like a bug-out bag for the car, but I kind of use it a bit differently. But I'm not going to put a knife in there that I'm never going to use again. Unless in an emergency. I'm not going to do that. I like to have extra knives here and there. It's convenient if there's something right near. I'm not going to spend $150 on a knife and just kind of put on a shelf someplace where I'll forget about it and probably either never use it or not use it too much. So these are really cool knives to have, but even if I mean, number one, I can't afford to buy just knives like these three. These are the only, I have a lot of knives. These are the only three knives I have. Actually, no, I have one other one that cost over $100. It was the Boker Kalashnikov OTF. That was like 110 or 120. But that's it. Everything else I have is under 100, and quite a few of them are under 20. So I'm going to take these off to the side because this video really isn't about them. The video is about these bad boys right here. Now, right here, you are seeing these three right here, I believe, are all Tack Force knives. And this one right here is an Ozark Trail knife. Now, you might say to yourself, Tack Force knives are junk. Well, I actually have a Tack Force knife that if you look at it the wrong way, it falls apart. It really sucks. Then I have a few of them that, mainly maybe a few years ago that I'd used quite a bit and it held up pretty well. The only thing I really had to do was, strop it sometimes and tighten the pivot screw. That was one issue I noticed with Tack Force knives. Um, but otherwise, in a pinch, they're really not bad. Now, are any of these knives better than the Spyderco? Nope. Is it close? Nope. Would I rather have the Spyderco or one of these? The Spyderco. Do I want to leave the Spyderco in my car? No. Do I want to put it in my bug out slash car bag where I'm probably not going to use it or see it very often? No. Can I afford to buy like 10 or 20 Spyderco Para 3s just to kind of sprinkle around my car, backpack, and home for convenience purposes? Nope. Do I want to just have a Spyderco? Or maybe another really fancy knife that I can use, and then I got to go running around going to get it when I might happen to need it for something. Nope. That's why I get the cheap knives. There's no shame in getting cheap knives. Let's start with this one right here. This one kind of makes me sad a little bit. This one is an Ozark Trail knife from Walmart. Yeah, one of those. I picked this up. I think it was $3.75, and when I picked it up, I was like, "This is the best value in knives." Now you might say, "Well, that's not the best knife." No, I didn't say it was the best knife. I said it was the best value because it's $3.75, and it's a really sturdy knife. Now this one was cheaper. This is the Dollar Tree Swiss Army knife. This is a piece of crap. This is $1. I overpaid by spending $1 on this. It is not very functional at all. You can't do much of anything with this. The only reason why I keep it around is to show you how bad a knife can be. We'll get rid of this now. This is actually usable and functional. And like I said, when I bought this about 5 years ago, it was $375. I was at Walmart the other day, and these are actually selling now for, not the exact same style, but they are selling now for $5.90, which I gotta tell you, I don't think is a bad price. Still not a bad price. And just a couple quick measurements here. I mean, it's a .09 blade, a little over an inch there. Thickness, thickness 0.45. Now these liners here, this is likely made out of a very cheap material of these scales. Although I gotta tell you, they're textured pretty nicely, not bad. You got some jimping here. You got a little bit of a ramp. The flipper comes out like a little guard. This is workable. You can do this. If you go someplace like either to work or a friend's house and you have to open packages, this will open your packages. Okay? If you're some, special forces guy getting dropped down in the Middle East, it probably isn't the knife you want. But most of us aren't that. Most of us are guys opening our mail and opening packages and, I don't know, cutting some cord or string or rope or whatever. Like when you go to pastry, sometimes they used to tie the boxes together with string. You need to cut that string off to get to the eclair. This will get you to the eclair. You know what I mean? Come on, fat boys. You know what I'm talking about. This will get you to the eclair. Okay? And we got the liner lock. So for like $3.74, now $5.90-ish, this will get you your eclair and your tarts and your brownies. Tack Force. Crazy thing about Tack Force, they're actually going up in price, and they're not worth it. There's a surplus store near me, which is a really cool store, and they were advertising Tack Force knives for $25. And I was happy to see that. It made me giggle because I wanted to know who the hell would pay $25 for a Tack Force knife. These that you see in front of you, I got pretty lucky. There was a guy on eBay, pretty large seller too, and he would sell knives and charge like $3.50 for shipping. No matter how many knives you bought from this guy, he charged you like $3.50 for shipping. So I got a bunch of Tack Force knives and M-Tech, I believe. I got them for a lot of times like maybe $4 or $5 because a lot of people were thinking, well, I'll pay like $8 or $9 for that knife, and they were adding in the shipping cost. Whereas me, I buy like 4 or 5 or 6 at a time and only pay like $3.50. So someone who was buying one with shipping and cost was paying like, $8 or $9. I was paying like 4 or 5 or 6. So I was getting them cheaper. Same thing. Some of them don't look too bad. Like, it's not a bad looking knife. Is this premium blade steel? No, it's not. Does it even say what kind of blade steel? It's stainless. What does that mean? 440A, 440C, high carbon? No, I don't think so. It's made in China. This is probably not a Wee knife quality knife. It's not. But you know what? I would rather have one of, a few of these all over the place. I mean, think about it. Let's say $4 for these. Let's say $5 for these. That's $19. I got more knives. I'm happy with that. Now, some of you might be saying, I don't want that junk. Well, that's fine. Me, I want to open the box of pastry to get to the eclair. And I want to open up my mail. I like opening mail. Now, unless it's built. But again, not bad for $5. Now, if you had to pay like $15 for that, I wouldn't bother, because for $15, you can do better. A couple of months ago, I bought a Ganzo, and I got to tell you, it performed. It was only about $14. It's I wouldn't say it's a copy of a Delica, but it's pretty close to a copy of a Delica. Came really sharp out of the box. No blade play at all, and just a nice solid knife for $14. What the heck is this? This is a Razor Tactical. Yeah, look at that. It's got a little bit of wood. That's some fine woodwork in there, buddy. Anyway, um, actually, you know what? I think I actually have one of these in my bag because I liked how it had a small blade. It's only a little over 2 inches, so it's legal just about everywhere. And it has the karambit ring on here, so if need be, you have a couple metal rings there. That's nice. And if you have your pinky in there, it actually fits the hand pretty well. And then, your overhand grip. So, works out pretty well, actually. I like it. Doesn't get off my finger too easily, but. So, I would, I think you should probably keep your eye open. If you're not, um, check out the clearance section at stores like Walmart. A lot of times they'll still have these regular Ozark trails, like I said, for about $5.90. Sometimes cheaper. Um, Sometimes they'll have sets of knives. One time I bought a set of four mossy oak fixed blade knives. Each one had their own sheath for $8. Now I think the regular price was like 25. I wouldn't have paid $25 for them. I didn't think they were worth $6 a piece, even with the sheaths. And the sheaths weren't bad either. They were pretty decent sheaths. But for $8, that's $2 a knife. Guess what? Surprisingly, they actually came sharp and they're pretty decent knives. Um, Pretty decent quality, excellent backup blades. So it worked out pretty well. So another place where I sometimes am able to pick up bargain knives sometimes on the cheap is Tractor Supply. Sometimes they have them. Those usually work out pretty well. One place I would avoid like the plague though is Harbor Freight. One time I picked up this Harbor Freight knife. It was really really bad. It was horrendously bad. I think if I cut a piece of loose leaf paper, it might have broken in two. It was awful. But some of those other places, though, sometimes they do have some good sales, and you know, try and keep a couple of knives in your car. Again, legal requirements and all that goes without saying. I'm kind of talking about where I live, what I do, but I try and keep a couple in my car. I keep one or two on me. Um, I put a couple in my garage. I have them, around the house in case you got to open up a package. Why should you go running across the house from the left wing of your grand mansion to the east wing of your grand mansion? It's so much, right? So, like I said, just keep that in mind. You might like these really cool knives, and by all means, if you like them and you want to buy them, but don't ignore these. Okay? Don't ignore these because these can be your convenience, they could be your backup, they could be your peace of mind because you don't want to be in a situation, and I'm not talking a life or death situation, but let's say you're helping a friend move into their new house and you got to go open bags or excuse me, or you got to open boxes and stuff. Do you really want to get caught without a knife? I mean, this way, maybe you forgot your carry knife that day. You can go in your car and you can get one. Do you want to keep a $200 Malibu in your car? I don't. I don't mind keeping my Ozark Trail in the car, though. I'll keep that in the car all day long. Like I said, right now, I've really stepped up my game. I now have a $14 knife in my car, and I have a $12 karambit. So that's what I have. Well, anyway, I hope I gave you something to think about, and I hope you have a good one. And I also hope if you stuck around this long, you will consider subscribing. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to put videos out every day, or almost every day, so hopefully I have a lot of stuff going up soon. Have a good one, and make sure you carry a knife so you can open the pastry box and eat your eclairs. See ya.